you for a sec. And there we are. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
It's 12:30 on Wednesday, and that's time for Crafting with the Crew. And
That's us.
chicks in bikinis, not in hot tubs, but awfully hot because the temperature is rising.
93 degrees, pretending we're in the hot tub.
And today with us, with a boat. What a boat? How's that? Is that close enough? I don't know. Today we have our good friend and yours, Mabelina. Here, wait. I'm gonna take the action cams out.
Sure.
And then we're gonna boop, boop, and then boop, boop.
Boop, boop.
There we are.
That's right. This is the other side of my studio today.
Yeah. Here's
is
Mab, not
Sublimation
Moon.
station.
Aww.
Aww.
Yeah, not Moon.
So
I
sad.
know we were just talking about how right at the end of the game we were like, oh, that's right. You're not going to be for our concern for what we're going to do. We're the next season is going
The
to
next
be
2 seasons,
It's going
yeah.
to go all the way to December, so it's going to be a long campaign, and we're sticking with the same characters. So, and hi, all right, Guy Lark, hi, Blondie, hi, Zalani, hey, Reverend Tommy, thanks for being. Hey, Reverend Tommy, are you back in? I wasn't sure if are you back in the country yet.
He must be, because he was just with Tommy Zadoiko. And that's
Oh, was that today? Was that a picture that was? I wasn't sure if that was a picture from earlier or what. I don't
Or
know. You let us
stalking
know.
remote by proxy. I don't know.
Right. Oh, because he's playing tomorrow. So yeah, he's got to be back.
You can play anywhere in the world,
Well, he
dude.
did. He was there. He was online with us.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Speaking of which, Reverend Tommy, I want to tell you that I haven't tried the Blanco yet, but that Don Juan tequila that you brought up for me, it is the smoothest, best tequila. The other one, the brownish colored one, is the smoothest tequila I've ever had. I don't usually think of tequila as a sipping beverage. Usually it's more of a like, woo! But yeah, noticed I did it while you weren't painting. Yeah, it's really great. So thank you for being the agent of bringing the magic of Don Juan and Miguel to my face. Delicious.
Your face welcome.
Yes. My face says thank you.
Oh yeah. So, I want to thank. All right, flew back to the country Thursday and was online for Melissa that night. Boom.
Commitment.
Wow. You are absolutely the saintliest of saints.
I know, and we still have prizes yet untold to give you because of all your hard work, dedication. Which we almost got. I was like, oh my god, I feel like it was such a Romeo and Juliet moment. Missed the note. Like, oh, I have something great to give you, and then bye.
Right.
Thing, really?
Oh.
Today we're working on all sorts of stuff. I am backlogged with all sorts of things, but one of the things I wanted to get some finished was some minis that I have half painted and need to finish there. And so I'm gonna finish up some of these guys, or at least try. I got some goblins here that I was like, I should finish these goblins. I primed them,
Ooh,
and then I have some base. I have a couple of owlbears that I have not yet finished. Of course, we've seen parrot owlbear. I guess it's not really an owlbear; it'd be a parrot bear. Parrot bear, tropical.
I mean, aren't they all basically bird bears?
Yeah, just when you thought it was safe to go back to the jungle, here comes parrot bear.
Because parrots aren't scary enough on their own.
Right?
Parrot will take your finger off without even being a bear.
I don't think I'd fight.
I love parrots.
I wouldn't. If I was in a ring to the death, I don't know if I would fight a parrot with my bare hands. I would want an advantage, like a shotgun or something.
Maybe a net. I don't know.
At the very least, some padding for your arms, because
right? Oh god, some gloves, some serious gloves, because they will nip your finger right off.
Yes.
So I've got some minis here that I'm gonna get to. Ansa here is working on a really fantastic project,
it's exciting.
which she should probably tell us all about.
Yeah. So, and as often happens, Mab is helping me with this, because what I'm good at is art. What I'm not as good at is product design. And Mab is much better at going, oh, I know the materials, I know the machine. And also, being an artist herself, is sensitive to the art part. So I do a lot of holiday related merch, as you know, Krampus type stuff and so forth. And so what I really wanted to make this year is an advent calendar of Yuletide monsters. So I know it seems like the winter holidays are far away, but they're really not. We just had the summer solstice. That means we are halfway there.
I'm zooming in on yours.
Oh, quick. Very tasteful.
Ooh.
Maybe get it below my bust line as well. So, where am I pointing? Over here. So, these are sketches. They are all monsters. Some of them traditional Yuletide monsters, some of them just monsters having holiday encounters. That is a werewolf encountering a candy cane for the first time.
I love it.
He's like, wow, this is just doing everything. It's really exciting.
But it smells great.
Right? If you had their senses. I've got a Wendigo putting a star on a Christmas tree. These are the pencil sketches. They ultimately will end up being done in Scratchboard, which is more of my traditional like medieval feeling medium. But this is me trying to get really detailed. Can you make it like there you go? Boop, right there. You can sort of see. God, I'm
Which
like,
one are you going for?
the
The
cat one.
the cat? Okay.
Yeah. So that is I could not pronounce it. The Jordan Kuturin. It is the giant Icelandic cat that rampages through Iceland, and if kids don't have snazzy winter clothes, it is a sign of lack of industry on their part because, of course, they make their own stuff traditionally, and so it eats you. So there's a little kid standing on the roof of their little turf house saying, "Please don't eat me." And that one there, for my New Jersey people, that is a sketch of the New Jersey Devil standing over a pile of Christmas presents in the pine.
That Jersey Devil looks a lot like a dragon. The Jersey Devil I have seen in the past has less dragon-like wings.
It's true. They I don't know. Like the research, I have to say, is a little thin. The documentation, the illustration in Wikipedia looks like a child who has never seen either a giraffe or a kangaroo made the same animal. So, yeah, I'm gonna try to undragon it a bit, but trying to make something that looks like a kangaroo with, cloven hooves. This one is also my kid actually helped me with this one because their superpower is drawing monsters. All
That's
their life.
true.
So this is a chupacabra with a dreidel. Because everybody is invited. Yeah, and more of a horse-like head, yes.
The Chupacabra dog, that's based on the dog, and I can't remember, what is the name of those dogs?
Chihuahuas?
Nope. There is a dog.
Chihuahua Cabra?
Nope.
I mean, come on.
It's not Quetzalcoatl, but there is an actual Mexican
Yes.
dog breed that the Chupacabra is based on.
That makes sense because years ago when I was in Puerto Rico, I lived there for a little bit, and just the Puerto Rican street dogs, like they don't belong to anybody, and they're that sort of generic, like very lean. Their fur is incredibly short because, of course, it's hot, and the wild ones have a lot of mange. So they just have that sort of primal but non-wolf like canid base, and if you just stick some spikes on that, you've got a chupacabra. There are, of course, the version of chupacabra in the stories that are much more like reptilian bipeds, sort of. I had to make a pick, and I definitely opted to go with more of the canid version. I'll show you another one, and then I'll go back to drawing. So as it tries to focus, you can't really see
Which one?
This one here.
Just don't reflect it off the light there.
How do I do that?
There you go. Just shimmy it around.
It's confusing. I have to move backwards. Anyway, it's an abominable snowman looking at an actual snowman. So, but the abominable snowman honestly looks just like Chewbacca. I'll have to work on that, but
Well, there's one easy way to tell the difference between Chewbacca and abominable.
Sir Dave says,
Zola.
Thank you.
Thank you. Exactly.
That is it. So there's a lady who runs a hostel in New Orleans that I stay at whenever I can. She is a Santeria priestess, and she's also a very famous sideshow performer from the 70s.
Oh, nice.
And she toured Europe, and she was famous for the eating fire vagina dentata.
Oh, nice.
Very famous for that in Europe. And anyway, she has one of those dogs, and the thing's got the tongue that's always hanging out in the movie Coco.
Yes. The little dog Dante.
Yeah, that's one of those dogs, and they are known to be the they help you get from one world to the other.
Yes,
They are.
psychopomps is the word.
What was the word?
Psychopomp. That is the name of the animal line entities that help you transition from one world to the next.
I'm super
Yeah.
pumped myself.
That's why they named him Dante, because Dante's Inferno, because
Right.
art, because smart people. Anyways,
Because smart people.
that's what I'm doing. I also really need to possibly be painting a banner for Apollo, like I did for Shakespeare. But I want
Another one?
slightly different. He needs one for the back of his
Basket.
prop basket that he carries around. And
Man, you're really
You're
just
trying to
putting
think
her
of
to all kinds of work there, Paul.
I know, right? I'm terrible.
honestly, I just watch the
Hey,
show and go, this show's great. It sure would be better if I knew how to pay you. It sure would be better if we rewrapped the original handle. It sure would be better if there was a sign on this vending stuff that made any sense. He brings the brilliance of the physical skill, but that doesn't mean he has time to think about the other stuff. And I am making time for it. So
That's why you're awesome.
That's one of the many reasons.
One of the many
But
reasons.
I'm kind of the same way though. It's like I see a thing and I gotta make it or do it.
It's nice to be able to fix things. What I'm not good apparently is drawing Cthulhu because I'm trying to make an eldritch creature. I have zero eldritch creature cred. Yeah. Again, I had my kids sit down and draw me a sketch because they've been drawing horrific
Eldritch
alien,
creature.
predator, eldritch things that they can draw bugs, anatomically correct bugs from their mind. I still draw bugs like somebody playing with those pieced together bug spiders that we had as kids. You know what I'm talking about?
The cooties?
Yes, that's what it is. Cooties. Thank you.
I love
Piece
that
together
game.
bug spider. Cooties. There you go. Nailed it. See, as a dungeon master, I have to know these weird references.
That's
That's you. Now you've got the pieced together bug spider things.
Taking a step back here, talking about some things that are happening. I was very proud to announce that, yes, indeed, I will be at Texas Renaissance Festival, the full run, just take a step back. Texas Renaissance Fair doesn't really let most performers do partial runs. They are so against that. They have a nice fancy program that they print out, and so they just kind of go, no, if you don't want to do the whole run, you can GTFO. And so you're like, oh, all right. That's why I've never, ever done that show, because I have so many other overlapping shows. But I was
making it a priority this year.
Things switched up because of COVID anyway. So I was like, all right, let's do this. So I will be in the show of the Green Hour at the Wormwood. It's called a public house, just a bar. It's an amazing. They've built a tavern. It's like 2 stories high. They have, because there's room for aerials. There's it's basically it is a burlesque show that is inside of a building, so that they charge admission to the show, et cetera, et cetera. I will be doing some street shows during the day as myself, as Paolo Garbanzo. But then in the evening, I will be a French guy. And I will
Time to start working on his accent.
Time to work on my cheesy French accent. But the thing is and here's Carmel.
Hey.
Hello. Yay. And and Reverend Tommy, as he noted, is also going to be there. So we're actually going to be at the same fair at the same time. So
didn't you both do Pennsylvania?
Yeah, we were both. Well, I was working in Pennsylvania, and Reverend Tommy was assisting with
Glassworks.
Glassworks, yes, which I'm totally spacing on right now. So Reverend Tommy, yes, with everything, which I was intrigued when Reverend Tommy said that he was going to be down there in Texas, because that means you're only going to do part of
Pennsylvania,
and then you're going to zip down. So, road trip. Because I'm leaving the Maryland Fair, and then I got to zip down to TRF like ASAP. So, So yeah. So there you go. So maybe we'll see each other on the highway, and then we'll be there at TRF. It'll be great. And Zelani's saying, yeah, North Carolina just handles it by marking some. Yeah. So yeah. Well, a lot of it's interesting because several fairs.
Our cheese du jour. I like that.
Yeah. Several fairs will do partial runs. Like that's very common. I would say the majority of fairs allow for partial runs. Some don't. And some
don't have to.
Yeah, some fairs make it a point to have partial runs because they like to have various artists and they can change it up. Maryland being one of them that really like getting a full run out of Maryland is nearly impossible. So hats off to some of my friends who do that full run. I believe like Stefan does the whole run there.
Well, he's Stefan, aka Less as More, aka Swami Omami. The director of the Cheeky Monkey Sideshow, he grew up on the cast, like literally. He was still, I think, in high school when he started working there, and he is older than I am, right? So
I did not know that. Wait,
yeah,
he's older than you are?
Yes.
Damn, he looks great.
Yes.
Wow. That has nothing to do with anything, but wow, well done there, Les.
Yeah, he
less aging as more.
So he's also in the show Shakespeare Scum, which is the show that's produced by the casting director. So
yes,
that's definitely in his advantage.
That'll help
and
get your solid run.
Anytime, so when he was like, "Hey, let's see if we can get the Cheeky Monkey Sideshow in there," so we were able to do a full run, no problem. And yeah. Whereas
I, just a mere juggler. Actually, I was able to get 6 weeks this year, so I'm super proud about that. So that's great.
Nice.
But yeah, so and I might have done more, but TRF TRF and I were chatting for quite some time about this whole jazz. So I was like, Maryland, I'm gonna risk it and say I can only do it up until October 3rd, and then that opens me up for the TRF. And then we finally nailed everything down, and yes. So yeah. And I'm trying to think what were all the other things.
Let's find out what Carmela's doing.
Yes.
And me.
Oh,
you still haven't looked at what I'm doing.
Oh, that's right.
Look at Mabs first.
Okay. Mab, you got your matching
because I've been waiting for it, and I got to do it before so I can get it done. So I am making another tote bag with the Battle Sloth, and we're going to see if this works. So this is sublimated ink. You can see it's in reverse. It's not an effect of the camera. I have a special printer, or the printer is a normal inkjet printer, but it prints sublimation ink, which is ink that at high temperatures turns into a gas and bonds with synthetic fibers.
You're making that up.
Nope. This is a cotton tote bag right here. So that is natural fibers, and the synthetic won't bond to anything. So that's why I cut out a glitter iron-on, and I already just did the iron-on here. And I did that while we were talking a minute ago here. And then I'm going to, right now, so you guys can see how cool this looks. I was waiting for you guys to zoom in on this. All right, so you can see how mute these colors are.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope this works. So then I put it on the surface here, and I realize when I'm doing it, I'm blocking it. Let's see if I can. So I have it set at a really high temperature on my little heat press thing right here. And it doesn't take a lot of pressure. Just make sure it's in the right spot. Let me tape it down too, because you guys are watching me, and I should do it like.
You got to show the people good technique.
Yeah, exactly. Versus the willy-nilly, I just slap it on. So this is a heat-resistant tape. I've been jazzed thinking about this. So I made the design, and I've been looking forward to making stuff with it for a while, but I have had mixed results with this. And but I'm thinking this is going to be the one. I think this is going to work. We'll see. You guys ready? I'm excited.
Bring it on.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to just put a piece of paper on there to keep the. So when it turns into a gas, I don't want it bonding with the plate of the heat press.
Oh yes, that'd be problematic.
So you put a little piece of paper there. So it takes about 60 seconds, in which time you can have idle chit chat and see if I don't know any other designs. So one time I accidentally selected the wrong printer for something I was making for Ansa.
Oh wow,
So this is sublimation ink.
wow,
I just need to put it on something.
that's awesome.
So
Wow.
I've been holding on to this.
There's
As
a
well.
t-shirt you're not allowed to wear in public.
Yeah, well, you can make it on. So I have stuff like these are coasters.
Yeah,
These are coaster things. They're like I also have these are puzzle blanks. They all have the coating for
right.
to receive it. Certain T-shirts that they're synthetic fibers,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, but here's the tricky part: you can't do it on a dark fabric because it's sheer. It's
yeah.
light.
Sure.
All right, here we go. It beeped.
Let's hope it worked out.
Please don't suck.
Come
Please
on,
don't suck.
You want to get the big screen on the action cam there?
Yes, please.
Please don't suck. This is the big reveal.
The action cam. Oop.
Wow, that's really vibrant.
Look at that.
Battle
So freaking
Sloth.
70s. So freaking 70s.
Three
That's
toes
the
of
idea.
terror.
Wow.
That's
With our
great.
little Nat 21 little thing
That's
there.
incredible.
Yeah. Battle Sloth.
It's really adorable. It's like it's hard to imagine that Star Wars didn't always have battle slots now. Like it just you know, like yeah, of course.
So there's still a lot of ink on this.
Yeah.
Theoretically, I could do it again.
Wow.
Yeah, Sally, that was you were asking. I could. I only cut out one of these things. I only cut out one of the bases, but I'll try it. I'll save it.
That is definitely a conversation piece, and I absolutely want to bring one to the next convention that I go to with all my D&D bags and D&D books in it. And they're like, "What the heck's a battle sloth?" I'm like, "Wouldn't you like to know? Bring it."
Monster of the Month. Oh, sorry, you're not in that club. Wow. Well
So
done.
I
Anna.
could
That's
theoretically it. This is I'm one of the things I do in this show is I make prototype products. So this is a prototype. It doesn't take that long in the great scheme of things to make, but there is a little bit of a chance of error. Like if it shifts, you'll get ghosting. This isn't 100% perfect print. Let me see if
You
I
mark
can
it
show
with
you.
oops all seconds.
Right.
Yeah, right. But there is a slight ghosting right here. Not ghosting, but like it's slightly faint here.
Mhm.
From I could have left it on there longer. So 60 seconds, I could have done longer. But other than that, it looks
Art and
really
science.
good.
Mhm.
And I think if I do it on a hard surface, even though they say
yeah.
to use it on the heat pad thing here, this is to like absorb it. But I think if I did it on a hard surface, it would get me a better, more even press. So here it is. And then I have a sheet inside in case the ink goes through. Maybe that was part of the problem. I don't know. But there we go. I made a thing.
Iterating.
Awesome.
Now, Carmel, what are you making?
Carmel, what are you working on?
So I'm working on another fairy that has no place to be shown, like my oat milk maid. I'm sketching it out. And I've decided that there should be a house plant spirit.
Aw.
Since so many people have houseplants now because of lockdown, the joy of the houseplant is here. And so I was having this brainwave about like a domovoy, but for your houseplants.
That's great.
Because there's garden spirits and there's house spirits, but what if you had house garden spirits? So it started with this hat that I wanted to make
Nice.
ages and ages
Oh,
ago that I
nice.
actually just bought stuff for. Like I got some felt and some buckram that it's gonna be big sculptural. But then I like fell down this hole thinking about a houseplant fairy. She's very
Aw.
small at the moment, but like her
Okay, let's
or
get to the
their
big thing.
Wait, we're gonna make you big.
okay, its dress or outfit, it's just the top of the moment, like a bromeliad collar, like snake plants and money plant for the big hips and stuff. It's coming along, but I figure it'll have houseplant pieces that make its outfit, but it'll also have like macrame and pottery shards
Oh, yeah.
as its stuff, its crown, its whatever. And it really wants you to thrive. So it'll carry around a beautiful long slender watering can full of water, and it's like, you look like you're a bit parched. Would you like some water? And like
You need to hydrate.
it can fill your cup with some water out of the watering can or a spritz bottle. If you're looking a little like you need just a little bit of hydration, not too much, just like a spritz around the edges, like to
Can
cool
you have
people
a second
down.
one that is just like makeup fixative? Because that's what I usually need at cons. Is like I need to hydrate.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
spray in the face.
Nice.
Yeah, and sometimes they'll like turn you a little bit towards the light. Like you're really looking lush on this one side, but I don't think you're taking care of the back of you as much as you think. And just remember that all sides of you are important, and just
Aw.
like kind of turn people gently. So I have the oat milk maid idea, and I have the houseplant spirit idea. And I was like, I really need a third one. And I was just talking, like, just because reasons. And I was talking to my friend Cubby about it this morning over tea. And my worst idea is a bobby pin snatcher. So it's Attack of the Bobby Pin Snatchers. And it's the grumpy spirit that comes to you and steals things out of your hair in the middle of the night while you're sleeping.
Right.
Or if you're like, because that's horrifying. Or if you're moving too fast, if you're like, if you're not honoring your hairstyle and you're moving too fast, you're running, like it'll just like live inside of your hair, and it'll just like it'll just kick the bobby pins out of, or like if you put them down in the wrong place, it'll snatch them so you can't ever find them again. Like it's kind of a horror spirit, like a house.
A
I'm
poltergeist.
pretty sure it makes sure that if you set your bobby pins down by the sink, that they get wet and then they leave rust on the porcelain, and then you can't put them in your hair, and you've left like an indelible mark to remind you that you were not organized about the maintenance of your doodly dads.
It's just it's kind of a Perchta spirit.
Right?
Of like, if you don't keep your house clean, I'm gonna cut you open and shove all your garbage inside of you.
Right?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, Perchta's not here to mess around. With
Nope.
her dirty
I'm
fingernail.
so screwed.
Yeah, the fact that Perchta opens you up with her fingernail.
Oh my
Like
god.
as if it was clean. I'm like, do you keep it dirty just as a fastidious person? You have a dirty fingernail just for spite? Because that's like some cold. That's cold.
Yeah. And Blondie, yeah, it's like your hair falls down. And I like to think that it's like it all falls down at once, like it's magically held in place, even though all the bobby pins have already been removed. And just worst possible moment, that's when you do it. Like the boom. And you're like,
You
what
lose
the-
structural integrity at the
Yeah.
worst possible
Yeah,
moment.
and you're like, how do I have 0 bobby pins in my hair? And you're like, it was held together with spiteful magic.
yeah.
Okay, wait. Okay, the fairy with the macrame, like it's got to look like those 70s owls. Like you're wearing a suit
Oh yeah.
that is like the 70s owl macrame pot holder.
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Like,
Well, that's
like,
the
Wall
point. Is
hanging.
that they look like wall hangings and plant hangers.
yeah.
That have been
Yeah.
turned into some sort of like mishmash of an outfit.
But I mean, like, you could have the owl's eyes be like
So,
right there, like
I have-
absolutely like burp, and then like but then like the macrame just goes on down. It would
I
be
would
awesome.
actually wear like I have very
Really
little
cool
use
bathing
for
suit.
macrame, but yeah, I would actually.
I would wear that owl suit.
I would wear
So it's like the eyes are right here.
There
Yeah.
you go. My
Wait,
eyes.
My
are
owl
down-
eyes are right here, buddy.
There you
macrame
go.
owl bear. Is that where this is going?
Yes.
Maybe.
Oh, it's like
I
a
just
horrible
I just
construct.
keep creating like interactive characters, and I don't have anywhere to interact. Yet.
Wow.
So I'm working on it. I've got like
Okay.
other not craft projects going that are like art and craft projects, like audio,
like
and
a
audio
street
project.
festival. That'd be a really great place to like
could
arts in the
be.
park
Yeah.
kind of thing.
It could
Look
be
at this. Check this out. That's a second pressing,
nice.
second use of the thing. It's
Oh.
super ghosty. Not really, but like
I like it.
that's the second level. So that says to me that I should have done a lot more, left it on longer for the first one.
Could do
Or
that.
just know that you're like those are the ones that you buy in the thrift store because they look like they're actually from the 70s because they're
Yeah.
already, yes, exactly.
Distressed.
Tommy says they're vintage. See, we agree.
They're
Mhm.
distressed.
Nice.
Distressed.
Limited edition,
Very
There you
nice.
go.
as Voltaire would say.
Yeah, you could
Alright.
do that.
Hey T.
Limited edition.
I also have an idea for a sea urchin fairy, or a sea
Ah.
urchin spirit instead of a mermaid,
That's how I roll.
because I'm definitely a sea urchin. I'm more mobile than a sea urchin, but I'm spiny.
So you know those octopuses that are like they have the big cape and the cowl? They're not
Mhm.
like tentacles, they're just like a really big skirt for an underwater swim session with a bunch of mermaids. Somebody I had those little parachute games
Yeah.
where
Uh-huh.
everyone goes around and they have so it's got the net in the middle. Well, I cut the net out of the middle and I made a ridiculously long skirt out of it. I was swimming with it and it was
Yeah,
like
that's awesome.
Are they called
yes.
hood octopuses or something? Or
I can't remember what they're called.
I'm thinking of
Yeah,
a D&D monster, honestly, but
Fair.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
something like that. But yeah, that'd be cool. The sea urchin right now is speaking to me because it's got its like fun little flowery hat,
Sure.
and then but you can't clutch at them. You got to hold them, as I've been saying, loose and smart. If we're gonna hold one or handle one, you've got to handle it loose and smart. Like,
Just
I
remember, if it has a lining, it has to be bright orange because sea urchins are bright orange on the inside.
that's what I'm saying, is like they've got this, like, sometimes their fronds are out and they're waving and they're happy and big hats, and then they're like, nope, fuck off, spines. So it's I identify with this. I really, really do. So I also have no water animal spirits that I connect with. Like, I've got other land and air things, but I was like, I can't believe, like, I like the ocean a lot. I grew up near an ocean. I have no water spirits of any kind in my like pantheon of things that I talk to or relate to. And I'm like, I think it's a sea urchin, definitely not a chicken, which is what you're holding.
It is. It is. Quick, want to put him on the big screen? Look, it's a chooky bird. Or am I pointing it?
You know, in Australia, they call all birds something chickens. Like ibises are bin chickens because they eat out of garbage cans.
I love that. The mystic beast of Egypt.
Yeah, is a bin chicken.
Look at this little guy. He's gotten so big. This is my talking to chickens voice in case you
Wow.
didn't know. Looky ducky ducky.
he's gigantic compared to me. I'm tiny.
Right?
So's the
Yeah.
Spall. It's just like the TARDIS.
Look at that little chooky bird. I hope Johnny O out there can see him. Look at we had one that was under the weather and it seems to have come around. Look at that
Yay!
beautiful little nerd.
Oh Jesus! Don't poop on my computer.
There you go.
That's what they do, man.
Thank you. Bye, baby. He's like, I was inside and it was so awesome.
Mama,
He's going for the computer again.
Yes, dear.
Hey,
Hey, Kitty and
Hey, Kitty.
Brent.
he's invisible right now, but there is a chair for him.
Is he from Canada?
Did I miss something?
Because he's not a real or like.
People from Canada aren't real.
No, I've got a girlfriend. You've never met her. She lives in Canada. It's like super far away.
Got it.
We met
Alberta?
at
My
summer
boyfriend's
camp.
totally real. He's just in Canada right now.
We met at summer camp.
Oh, he made it back.
Oh, he's real. Okay.
I go to a different school.
Yo.
You know me.
Hi.
Good morning.
You just missed my chicken. I had it on the screen. It was very exciting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wait, it's coming back just for you.
Yee, chicken.
Wow. We have animals right off screen, but I'm not gonna grab them up here.
Yeah, she's rubbing on my butt right now.
Thank you.
Mab, was that thing that Christine made, or Chris made, was that a
Oh,
surprise, or can we talk about it?
We can talk about it because she made it while she was on the show.
Oh, right. She made a bikini for the chicken.
That's right.
A bok. Is it a bikini?
A bikini.
It's a bok, Kitty. Oh, wow.
Bikini. You're speaking my language on every front.
So,
patron saint of the street urchin. Yes, that's great.
Don't we? There's a group called the Street Sea Urchins.
That's right. You got a gang.
That's true.
That is a gang.
Moochy little things.
so I finally got all my clay stuff unpacked just in time to repack it to go back on the road again. And turns out all my clay is completely dead from spending too much time in that car. Like all of it, except for I have a pack of not my favorite style. It's the brand I use, but it's a different type.
Mhm.
So at least I have something to play with. But like everything that I've been like collecting and all the mixtures that I've made and put aside, all dead.
I'm
So
Ugh.
yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how to.
I thought it was like a makeup palette. Like, just like, wow, that's just really committed.
Yeah, I don't know how to travel with clay because it cooks, and I can't take it out of the car with me every single time, every single place that I
Right.
go.
And you've been driving across like the hottest parts of the country.
Mhm.
And it just So
To be clear now, they're all the hottest part. It was
Yeah.
like 110 in Portland this week.
It's
so-
95
crazy.
today in Richmond.
Yes.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
it's about
July. I mean, that's pretty typical.
It's not July yet, just so you know. I know you want June to be over, but it is not yet July.
Any minute. Any
Yeah, it's like 115 in Portland. Like, I keep getting texts from a friend who's like, "Yep, all the flowers and all the leaves just fell off the plants outside because they can't handle the heat."
Okay, everybody. No such thing as global warming. It's cool, everybody.
It's
Well,
cool.
good.
Not,
No,
it's
it's
not cool.
It's 100%. Yeah, exactly. Not.
The opposite.
I got mystery stickiness on my hand. I'll be right back.
Okay.
That's the worst.
It came from my chair. I touched my chair, and then my hand has.
Was
Guys,
that-
this is a whole mess of oversharing that I'm not comfortable with.
I'm gonna just go ahead and assume it was boogers.
Yeah.
I just didn't
That's
want people
fair.
wondering when I come back why my hands are so clean when I come back. It's because I'm going to wash off the mystery stickiness currently.
Do people
Kitty
really
really likes
wonder
to
why
get into
your hands are
character.
so clean? Does anyone ever wonder why your hands are clean?
Not mine.
Like, I'm clean-handed. I tell you what.
Very suspicious.
CLT Blondie offers up an idea about how you keep your clay on the road. She said, could you put it in a container with wet sponges?
The wet sponges probably wouldn't stay wet very long.
They're in a plastic container that's
Like a Tupperware.
Just pretend they're your
Huh.
laundry.
Like a yogurt?
Laundry can stay wet forever if you keep it closed up,
Right.
and get moldy.
Well,
So-
I guess I will try that because I'm not gonna. I'm gonna bring all of my tools with me to Ohio, and then I guess acquire more clay
I'd say in a Tupperware container, and then keep the Tupper like a sandwich size, or like, and then keep it in a insulated lunchbox. Not like a big tub, but like an insulated lunchbox you can grab and carry into wherever you're going.
Right.
And
Or
put your
even-
stuff down.
It's a lot though.
I believe you.
Fair enough.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, I can also store it differently and include those tips in how I store it, and we'll give it a try because I'm gonna get more clay and I'm gonna have to come back with it. So see how it goes.
We all want to know.
Yeah, but in the meantime, I could just focus more on needle felting, I guess.
Right? Something that doesn't
Ooh.
have
Yeah.
that issue.
Well, when Brent comes back, we'll show you what he's working on, and then I'll go find my needle felting stuff.
Because anybody who doesn't know, that guy's a goddamn genius. I know you haven't
That's
seen
true.
him on screen, but he's a goddamn genius.
About what specifically?
Making pants, juggling, painting hallways, painting banners. Did I
Oh,
miss
wow.
anything?
Painting,
Huh?
arting.
Artie?
Yeah, he's working on a piece with a lot of birds and trans-dimensional rifts and stuff in it right now.
Oh no,
Cool.
it's the guy with clean hands. Ah.
You recognize me.
Ah.
His hands are always so clean.
It's
How does
Well,
he
right
do
now
it?
they are, not usually, but freshly watch the sparkle. Can we
I'm gonna-
animate a sparkle in post production right
yes,
there?
we can actually. Can someone animate a sparkle for his hands? Put your
Yeah, I
hands
can
Yeah,
down.
we got
actually
some
sparkle
on
that right shortly
Oh, please.
if I can.
Just hold right there.
Oh, it's in the other one.
Coming, it's coming.
Holding. Ooh, something's happening.
So
Yeah.
clean, so shiny.
I think we should go
Oh,
with
that's
that
a good
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that
a better
one.
one. All right,
Oh
guys,
wait,
it
hang
is
on, wait,
actually
we got to.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the
That's
one.
nice.
Amazing.
it's 1:30 and I actually have to go.
All right,
Oh.
Or it's close to 1:30. I gotta head out. I know you guys just showed up, and this is definitely not a commentary on my love for you.
Well, I'm glad you're leaving because now we can talk about you.
Make it
Aw.
awkward.
Did you see her hands?
I didn't say talk bad about her.
Well, I do love you, and I'm loving all the stuff everyone's doing. But I've gotta go do some less glamorous code art.
Code art.
Oh, fine. Go do your job.
Bye.
We'll
Bye.
miss
Miss you already.
Bye, guys.
Happy birthday.
Okay, so I really do want to talk about her. The reason why I gotta get more clay is because I have something really special that I want to make for her. And so it's kind of good that I'm not working on it right now, because then I'd be working on it and you'd be like, "Oh, Kitty, what are you working on?" I'd be like, "I can't show you because Mab's looking." It's gonna be a surprise. I would say what it is, but I don't know if she's gonna watch back. Do you think she watches back?
She's probably still listening.
Not like this moment.
Probably still listening, right?
Oh, right.
So
Sorry,
you-
Mab. No
you made her-
spoilers.
We gotta get her. Wait, her action cam is still on. We gotta get that out of here.
Big pile of poop that you made out of clay for her.
That's okay. I won't talk about it. We'll talk about Brent's stuff.
Yes, please.
Brent, do you want to show anybody anything? That's okay.
I'm just starting.
Oh, my sign?
What? Very nice. Just following her up.
Yeah.
Moops. Yeah, more moops.
And also just make your
The coat of harms. Harms.
take a lot.
You
Oh,
wanna
Stephen made that. Did you show that last week? The new?
My coat of harms?
Yeah.
Oh,
Reach on your towel. Wait. He's going to show his new snazzy pin, which our friend Steven made with my prompting and direction.
focus. Boo.
Make it big and less fuzzy.
Yeah, make
There
it
we
big.
It's
I'm getting there.
right. It's
Whoa.
right. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Because and our buddy was like, "Oh, it's like a coat of arms, a coat of props." And we realized it was a coat of harms because it's
Yeah.
throwing knives, juggling knives, torch.
You went with a G instead of a P, I see.
Yes.
That's right.
Yep.
I
And
guess that-
We need to decentralize the P, Kitty.
Oh, I see.
Yes,
That makes
up with
sense.
the old G. I like that spot right there. That spot
Yeah.
with the G.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's
Yeah,
my
right in
coat
the
of
middle.
arms.
Coat of arms.
It's, the new pin that we got for going on the road this year for the new stuff. We got new stuff.
I want one.
I'm helping. Okay,
Okay.
now let's see what the awesome guy with the clean hands is making.
So I haven't started yet, but here's the previous draft. I'm going to be doing a mural on the side of somebody's house of a one-eyed or three-eyed rock and roll cat. So that's the draft that
Nice.
I'm not going to use. So today I'll be resketching a different three-eyed rock and roll cat.
Look
Okay.
at the tongue. It's awesome. It clearly says, I go fast, I go hard.
Yeah. Live fast, lick hard.
Said
Clearly.
every oversensitive cat with bald spots ever.
Clearly related to the pound hards. That's
That's really cool. So is
Who
it
is
a
it?
mural for a building?
Yeah, somebody's house.
Really?
Yeah, the outside of somebody's house is going to be like
That's gonna
9
be
feet
great.
by 20 feet or something like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they live in a really easy to see corner too. Like their whole neighborhood has to drive right past this wall to look at they go to their own house.
Has
They're just
to.
gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I'm excited.
So
It's not for several months, but I'm really excited about it, so I'm working on it now.
yeah. Oh man, that's awesome. I've always I've done one big murally type thing, and it's a whole different trip as a painter because you can't, it's so close to you, you can't
Mhm.
see what you're doing. You can't see
Yeah.
all like
Right.
you're gonna keep having to like turn around and walk back across the street to
You
look at
do.
it.
And then if you're elevated and you can't do that, then you're just like leaning back on the ladder as far as you can, trying to see it.
Yes, when I did it, now granted this was a long time ago, but I did a mother and baby humpback whale, giant ones, and I was on scaffolding. That was like, I don't know, 10 or 15 feet off the ground maybe, and it was on the side of a giant like water tank or fuel tank. They just like had this big ugly tank by the whale watch, and they're like, make something cool. So I painted giant whales, but definitely it was like I'd have to get all the way down, go across, and look up, and I was like, well, I'm going to do that like 3 times this whole time and hope it works out.
Yeah.
But whales
I
were pretty
considered,
good on that scale.
I was gonna try to do previously on another one. I was gonna try to have like a live webcam situation so I could look on my phone what I looked like from a distance, but
Oh, that's smart.
I didn't do it, so it wasn't that smart.
You were smart enough to think of it though, like you could avoid that.
Always full of good ideas I don't use. Typical.
Well, the problem with clever people is that there's literally not enough time in the day. It's like Tesla mapped out entire machines that he never built because his brain had more time than the material world did. So
Yeah.
you're in good company if you can think of clever things you don't have time to do. As long as you're doing
Yeah.
something with the time you have.
Right. The brain runs faster than the hands can ever keep up.
Yes. Yes.
Just like I have 3 creature ideas that I want to build. I have 9, but I have like 3 in my head right now, and I'm like, I don't even know where to put them, where to wear them, let alone how long it's going to take to build them. It's not going to take that. If I was like, this needs to be done by Sunday, I'd be like, all right, I will have it done by Sunday. But without a deadline
right.
and without compensation, paying for it, and in fueling the deadline,
Right.
it's hard to say. Like,
Sure.
oh, that'd be cool. I could get behind doing something like that. They're more like playful thought experiments than
Nice.
anything else.
With this one, I know that it will be monetized. Ultimately, the time frame of 6 months from now seems really ephemeral, but I know realistically that I only have 3 months to do all the art in order for it to be ready. And if we've learned anything from tarot and the magnet stuff this year, it's like always assume your production, like the design time, the idea and the drawing or the making is one thing, but the getting it to where you can use it, it's going to take twice as long as you thought.
Mhm.
Friggin' lately.
That's like the worst part about juggling is that you can come up with like dozens of great ideas in a day, but then
Mhm.
you go and build the props to do it and then spend 10 years learning how to do Do we say curse words on this channel? Because that would be an apt time for one.
We let him slide a little bit. Yeah.
Well, it's not that apt. I don't need to push it. But you
Go
spend
for
10 years trying to learn the MF, and then you know, and then you get to show it to an audience, and then they don't like it. So then you come up with another 100 ideas,
Right.
spend another week building a prop, and then another 10 years learning how to use it.
That's right. I really thought this would land better. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes.
I'm
It's
looking
like
for the.
the
I think I want to
land
make.
of wayward props. You know.
I think so. I'm making this houseplant spirit, and I think its shoes need to be orchid shaped.
Ooh.
Like orchids are weird. Orchids are super weird, and they're very hothouse flower. Like
Right.
they grow out in the jungle. Like that's obviously where they came from. But yeah, I'm thinking it's either that or like shoes that look like porcelain, like a clay pot, like a glazed.
Or like terracotta kind of thing.
Yeah, like a terracotta or a glazed pot. But something I've been orbiting around these classes about bioplastics, which I'm really curious about because I don't want to add more to the waste stream or encourage that. So a friend of mine has been teaching about bioplastics, and then another person I follow on the internet named Mor Zabor, who is an amazing Israeli hat maker and sculptor, does a lot with thermal plastics. So
yeah.
I'd like to do more. I did a couple of hats back in February that were melted plastic that had been
Glorious.
upcycled. My anemone, thank you, my anemones. But yeah, I'm curious about. I don't want to add more to the waste stream. So how do I build what I want to build sustainably? That's the thing about like crazy big costuming is that in our day and age, it's easy just to do it with plastic and poly. But like it is a facsimile of what those things used to be made out of, to be bright and colorful and shiny, which was actual gold, actual metal, actual glass, beetle wings, things like that. So because those things A, are in short supply, and B, are expensive, and they are actual signifiers of extreme wealth, it's not about like, well, we need to get back to using pure gold instead of gold paint.
Right.
Like point. But like, okay, but how do we build what we want to build, looking fantastical and otherworldly, but being responsible about the stuff that we're making it out of?
Yeah.
I mean, frankly, the world is full of enough plastic garbage now that if we stopped making plastic anything right now, we could live off of remake, reuse, recycle the garbage that we have forever. But yeah, I'll tell you what it does require in this day and age: space, because you have to collect your stuff and sort it and clean it before you use it again. Like that is half the battle with upcycled stuff, is where do you get it? Where do you store it? Like, I was making octopuses a few years ago out of plastic bottles, and it like just collecting enough bottles to be viable for the project took a long time. And then you had to do the like, is this clean? How clean does it need to be? What are we doing with it? Like, how much time are we taking to turn this into the next thing? Yeah, it just like, that is an enormous preparation of material and storage of material is an enormous amount of the project. Not just like, oh, I ran out and got the thing I needed. It's a very different mindset.
We're trying not to succumb to hoarderitis at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. I know a guy who makes his own ink and pigment. He's a park ranger down in North Carolina, I think, South Carolina. But he actually like makes pigment and ink the old-fashioned way. From like, he melted down some guns in a pickle jar with some acid to make iron oxide, and he introduced some yellow slime mold to a base, and it turned it into this yellow pigment so that he could do a project like OG crazy from the source stuff. And it's all like fascinating, but truly boutique, truly small
Very
scale.
niche, yeah.
Yeah. What is the color? I think it's a like a lilac color that you get from the urine of prepubescent males. That
Because
it's
it
an
has this
old-
lower testosterone.
old Roman trick of collecting urine from kids and then dyeing the fabric, and it turns into a lilac color or something like that.
How prestigious.
It was
discovered that by
actually really
mistake.
important. What's that?
You know they discovered that by mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm
Well-
gonna dip this fabric in urine.
Somebody's
Yeah.
grabby kid peed
Well,
on this
that's
stuff.
that's old. That's an old. That's thousands
Oh,
and
yeah.
thousands and thousands and
Oh, yeah.
thousands of years old. Is that urine is a mordant? It actually fixes color, fixes pigment like salt, because there's ammonia in it. And so they discovered that from on the steppes of Mongolia, or what would become Mongolia. But I wonder if it was like, who can we pay to just like drink water and piss in a bucket?
Well, everybody.
Children.
pees, you know.
Who doesn't have to be out doing whatever their high labor job is, of like cutting
Right.
down wheat or whatever? Like,
I mean, because you pee in a pot and then you're like, well, wait, separate out the. This really separates the men from the boys, because it's like it had to have less testosterone in it.
I
Otherwise
don't
it's
know.
ruined. Yeah.
probably from dorms of children.
I was being schooled last night on how when white people got to this continent, we're like, we need ink. And we're making it out of pokeberries and
Oh, yeah.
balls, and that made magenta ink.
Awesome.
And they didn't have whatever, I guess, which made me go, what is regular ink made out of? I ground up rocks. I have to admit, I don't even know.
Yeah, mostly minerals, like iron oxide, and that ink maker I was telling you about. He does one called Sekhmet Red, which is this like carmine. It's actually the color of my lipstick. It's this like orangey carmine color, but carmine is also a mineral. Matt was just saying she used to make pigments in her fart school days.
Really? Oh,
Mm-hmm. Knolls and knits on trees for ink and burn it and mix it with alcohol. Knolls and knits? What are knolls and knits? BLC Blondie.
yeah.
I don't know what knolls and knits are. Knits
I
like,
mean, like
bugs?
rice knits. Those are kind of tiny.
An abundant supply if your children are the right age.
or go to the Richmond Waldorf School.
And of course, that's that whole thing. Ink doesn't really have a binder in it, so
Right.
it just dries to the whatever you're using, fabric or if it's papyrus or whatnot.
Mhm. Knots. Knolls and
Good.
knots. Like you would dig them out of the tree? Explain yourself.
Please.
Yeah. I demand explanation. Knolls and knots, burn it, and alcohol. Like charcoal? Like you'd burn it to be like a charcoal situation and then grind it down and mix it with alcohol? So many questions,
We have all these smart people.
right?
I thought it
Oh,
was
you cut them off.
Grind up
Okay.
Kabols.
Oh dear God, we're gonna find Kabul at this hour.
All right, interesting.
Kabold.
But yeah, that's the same thing with dye. You can make that. My mother is a fiber artist, so I learned about a lot of this stuff when I was a kid, but smaller. But you can make a dye out of just about anything. But it's the binder, it's the mordant that fixes it to whatever you're trying to dye that really matters. Like, it's kind of like, hey, you invented the wheel, but what the hell does that matter if you don't have an axle? Like, if you don't actually know how to attach it to the
Drive it.
thing,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. So
But
yeah,
that one festival where you put the paint on your skin and danced around, it was great for the day, but then, it washes right off. So it might stain your skin a little bit.
well, the Picts would, when they would stain themselves blue for battle, the theory is that it would be a trough full of urine and woad, because the urine was the mordant, and you just bathe in it, and then it would stain you blue. There's no washing it off. Like, it's absolutely no washing it off. Just has to shed. But
Don't make this quick.
vinegar is a mordant, alcohol is a mordant, salt.
So remember that time
Ammonia.
I had the taxidermy accident and with the skunk? Carmel,
Tell the story again.
Dude. So that's when I learned about vinegar as a mordant. So hobby taxidermist, high school, doing the first skunk that I ever did. And so, I'm like, and if you're squeamish, feel free to mute me for a second. But when you open up an animal, the pelt, you basically turn them inside out. So where you open up the front like a sleeping bag, you turn the little guy inside out, do the things you need to do, and then you have the pelt is separate. So we were just getting to the part where pulling off the pelt, and a couple of my buddies and I were leaned in close, going, "Oh wow, this is so fascinating!" Opening up this little guy that had been hit inside of the road, and one of the kids takes a scalpel and goes, "What's that?" and punches through the snake sack right in our faces. Like, my face is this close to the skunk because we're all leaned in. It's like an Acme cartoon where you all look into the,
Oh my god.
The part that also didn't want you to hear is that child died that day. There was a murder.
Oh, shit, yeah.
There was a murder.
So what happens then, of course, is that we've just spent hours getting this little animal turned inside out, and now someone has just stink bombed it, as well as all of us. And so we're desperately trying to save the pelt. Yeah, it was terrible. So it's everything, and this was pre-internet. So you have to understand, it was everything anybody had ever heard about how you get skunk off your dog. So it's I don't know, wash it in tomato sauce. All right. Well, it's covered in tomato sauce and still smells like a skunk, as do we all. For the rest of the week, the class was people who were near the skunk on one side and everybody else on the other side of the room, because it was a clear divide who was in the nerd taxidermy group.
Whose fault is this?
We tried tomato sauce. We tried shampoo, and then somebody said, "Oh, I heard that if you use Massengill douche," which I don't even know if they still make that, but it's one of those, body shaming products for women. And so we went and bought it. Turns out it's basically vinegar. So after having soaked this skunk in tomato juice, we then soaked it in vinegar.
You smell like ketchup.
We got the smell out, but it dyed the stripe bright orange. So we had this skunk with a neon orange stripe down the middle.
Awesome.
Babe was like, "Is it worth finishing stuffing it and giving it little button eyes at this point? Because it's going to look hilarious." So that's what I learned about mordant. Anyway, thanks to my friend the skunk and my not so smart taxidermy buddy. Yep. Just helping.
Why would you ever do that? You knew you were dealing with a skunk. Why would you ever? Anyway.
They just didn't. They didn't know. I mean, we've got kids. Think about it. What could happen? It's one big opportunity to go, "Huh, I wonder if there'll be consequences to the choice I'm about to make."
It's true.
Turns out, yes. So,
With scalpels, sometimes.
what'd you say?
Sometimes there's consequences with scalpels. Just give it to the most
Yes,
impulsive, scabby kid in the room and see what happens.
Anything that involves sticking a scalpel into something and saying, "Hey, what's this?" I want to suggest that's a bad idea. So you can, if you were nervous, you can turn the sound back on now. I'm done saying gross stuff.
How would they know?
I don't know. I could write a sign, but I'm too busy. Making a sign that says "Pobo Gabobo."
Great.
Actually, that's O's are harder than other things, so it's going to be Hubba Gabubba. PB Kabibi.
Kubu
Like Taika
Gabubu.
Waititi. You'd be in good company,
There you go.
Love that guy.
right?
So funny.
too.
So funny. So down home. His Instagram is full of just gems.
Just proving how hot not straight guys can be. Like, oh my god, that guy's adorable.
And he played Hitler, and we still think this way about him.
True. That is true. It takes a real believably sensitive artist to be able to do that.
Half Jewish, half Maori artist to play Hitler effectively.
And direct a major motion action film like of the
Yeah.
century. So awesome.
God,
So hot right now.
Ragnarok is so good.
Is this the part where we have 25 minutes left to talk about the bullshittery that's happening around gaming world?
You could also talk
Again?
about your game.
Oh my god.
You guys usually use this show to talk about the game that happened last
Oh
night?
yeah,
It
we
was
usually
the
do. It
finale.
was the finale. It was so much fun. And yeah, so before we get into that bullshittery,
I built a wormhole to broadcast from.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
that looked awesome.
You guys can check
yeah,
the
so-
Instagram. There are photos of it from backstage of me
Nice.
making a piece of garbage for special effects. Let me show you my fairy real fast before we move
Was it
on.
inspired by the vagina tunnel? Ooh. Look
All
at
right,
that.
so it's
Yeah.
getting there. So
I
like
like the
little
watering can.
thank you, the orchid shoes and the money plants and there's some macrame happening and some I can't really see it, but there's fern hair / headpiece and bromeliad collar, and then it's this thing is one of those self-watering globes. It's like
Ooh.
made out of blown glass.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? So I
Yeah,
can't
I know what
decide
you're
if
talking
it's going to be like a wand or if it's going to be like a hair stick. I think it's going to be a hair stick, but I haven't decided yet. So she's coming along. I think I just need to like start making her.
Yeah.
Very
Just do it. Just fuck up some pottery and make some jewelry out of it.
You can set
What
an
could go
action cam
wrong?
on the other side of this wall.
So this is the first time I've been on Creating with the Crew since we started the Orc campaign, and I haven't gotten to show anybody the horns yet.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
So we were talking about Carmel brought up thermoplastic.
Yeah.
And so I was at Mab's house still after Nat 21 Con, and I was super duper ridiculously hungover on Monday. I don't know how that happened. I guess it was
Lovely.
drinking all weekend and having too much fun. Thanks everyone for that, by the way. And the heat really, yeah. Well, anyway, so like didn't get anything done. And then Tuesday was like working on characters and getting the show together. And so, and like, I was like, okay, I gotta make these horns now. I gotta do it. And Mab's like, here, check out this stuff. And so
Was
I
it
started.
Warbler?
What?
Was it Warbler?
No, it's thermoplastic. It's just these little beads of plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
You-
Warbler is a brand. I was wondering if that's the.
Oh, so the only time I've ever seen Warbler is in sheets.
Oh, cool. All right.
So yeah, I can't remember what the name of it was, but yeah, there's these little white pellets, and you put them in water, and when they turn clear, then you can start molding them. And they cool very fast. And so I had a hard time getting a smooth shape like I would be able to get with clay, but they look great on camera. Up close, they're really rough, but I want to make them big.
Yeah, they look amazing on
Hold
camera.
on. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And so
Well, they
she's like, here's a headband and some thermoplastic and go to town.
they look great, and they
Right.
look so organically believable on
Yeah.
camera.
Oh, they look
Yeah.
fantastic.
And then I painted them to give them that kind of like dark fade sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yes, I have big drinking horns upstairs that have that look.
Yeah.
Get them right away. They're so freaking
They look
cute.
great. They look
Yeah.
great. You know, even on big screen, you know, that looks natural.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with those. I might still make some out of clay though, just for fun, just to give them a smoother look, and then I can blend the clay instead of actually painting.
Oh yeah.
Mm,
Make it integral.
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Sweet.
Awesome sauce.
Well, I had a lot of fun with our orc campaign. It made the world like a little bit more. It like brought out because we've been really like our whole campaign, our whole world for the past year and a half has been like in and around Magecroft in like two cities nearby, and so it's been really great to expand the world because the world exists out there. There's a whole other empire of douchebags way on the other side who are, by the way, currently colonizing Cecil. But the idea honestly was that my concept was that Magecroft and the other empire would be like fighting each other on the island as like a balancing force. But right now there's a volcano as the balancing force of the of the other guys. So well, we'll see what happens in the future. But tons of fun.
I want to address some of the comments.
Oh, yeah.
Mab said the stuff that she gave me to use was Instamorph moldable plastic.
Yep, I've played with that.
Cool.
And then BC Blondie is using Fimo air dry clay. I have not used air dry clay. The kind of clay I use is bakeable clay. So, but that sounds awesome. Yes, yeah, air dry clay is a lot lighter. And then Sally says, "Won't clay be heavier?" The clay I use, I would give it a armature on the inside of foil or something to make it a lot lighter.
Oh, that's smart.
The foam clay, months ago at this point when I made those sea anemone hats, I made little clownfish to go in them out of that stuff. And it's paintable. It's really easy to paint.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a tub of it for $15 at Michael's.
I need to try it. I just feel like I have so much more control over detail with the polymer clay, but for some things,
Well, it's
definitely.
You know, I mean, you've built a relationship with polymer clay, so it's your sort of native language of making at the moment.
Yeah. But there are some things that like I want to make that like I want to make them onto a base that can't go in the oven. And so that's where getting good with the air dry clay would come in really handy.
Right.
It's crap for detail. So you'd have to paint the detail on.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yes.
All right, so now I have this idea in my head about a wig made out of ferns.
Ooh.
And it's getting there, like a big sculptural drag queen wig made out of ferns. I'm just saying. Boop.
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes.
I guess. Do you think it was been 10 minutes since I put that
All right,
in
I'm
there?
gonna wave goodbye to all of you, but have a wonderful rest of the day.
Bye, Carmel.
Bye, Metatron.
Oh wait, don't end a broadcast. Just leave. That's the button.
Bye.
If I can't be on the broadcast, no one can. Oh, here we go. All right.
Do-do-do-do. Ah! The table is not big enough. Hey, you want to make it big so we can see your miniature?
Sure.
Miniature.
Boop. All right. Well, in just a small hour and a half, I've been able to get this guy close to where I would like him.
Who is that?
Well, it's technically it's a bugbear. I had him as this was my original guy for you for a minute, but it was unpainted, so I just didn't like having one of my main characters being an unpainted, unwashed, as it were. And by that I mean, you know, like a dark wash on top of the.
Nice.
But
You don't have a hulky archer?
No, sorry. Well, not a half orc or orc even or even minotaur type. This was the closest I had. So I was like, oh, I really wanted to use it, but then it was just unpainted. It just looked terrible.
Well, what were you using while it was? Oh no, you've just been using it unpainted, and now you've painted it.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to find. I guess I'll make one on Hero Forge or something, and then you can print it out because that
then I'll give
does
it the
not
coffee
look
wash.
like Ziri at all. Sorry.
It's okay. It needed a brown wash anyway.
This is why we can't have decent cups of coffee.
This is why we can't have nicely painted miniatures.
Did you drop
I
it
did
in
actually
your coffee?
I literally just dropped it right in the coffee. It was great.
Is he dry? Is your coffee paint filled now?
No, it's mostly dry.
Okay. Or I guess we should say
Also
she.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna
It's
have
okay.
to send you the Hero Forge file for Aziri because that's just unacceptable.
Called out.
Called out.
I have to tell
I
you,
always
I-
call him out. I've always got some complaint with the miniatures he uses for me. He painted Zazezel's cloak red.
Red, Paulo. Red.
flushing red like an angry
That's-
octopus.
That's why the anyway.
So I wanted to
If you're-
compliment you, Kitty, on your. I really appreciate how you don't just change your clothes and your stats, but it's like you use makeup to change your features. It's really
Mhm.
interesting. Like I wouldn't know it was the same person if I didn't know, because it's like your lips are full, your lips are small, your eyes are big, your eyes are all look darked in. Like you do a really good job of. Like it's not Kitty sitting there wearing a wig; it is the entity, and that to me is the part that makes cosplay not dumb. You know, it's art. You know, it's not like that's where it becomes art. It's not just changing one's clothes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And Kitty, you can
thank
just buy
you.
the
I
you
love doing
can
it.
buy the file and send it to me, and then I can print it on my 3D printer.
And they'll paint the whole thing red and pink, and it'll be.
Aziri is green and brown and black.
And throw it in the coffee. It'll all work out.
I just tossed it in the coffee. Some people give like costuming a tea wash. I like to just give all my miniatures a coffee wash. Which, by the way, I mean I did just give it a black paint wash, the black wash on top, and then dropped it in the coffee. So gave it a brown wash. So he's mostly brown anyway. It would actually probably fit. It works. Works
We
pretty
take
good.
a minute to acknowledge these comments here. Kudos
Absolutely.
to Carmel's Ferry. Shenanigans next Tuesday are abound. I like that. Mab said, less bug, more bear. Just buy the file so Paulo can print.
That's what I said. I said I was going
Also, your makeup is awesome, and or a big giant card.
That was
One of my favorite, honestly, when you came on the screen and I was like, oh, that's
Dr. Freaky yesterday came in doodling, and they were like, "So, what is the least like humanoid species in D&D?" Because this is a sort of thing that gets talked about at lunch at our house, right? And Paulo was like, "Well, there's the mushroom people." I said, "Or there's the talking polygons." Like I don't sure I'm reading the monster manual, but that's the least humanoid thing I've ever heard of.
I love, Kalis will come in after having this like mind, discussion in his head for who knows, like hours, right? And then he'll, we'll be eating lunch or something, and he comes around and he goes like, "What is the most strangest he's been thinking about this for so long, right? And then he'll come in and ask this very, very specific question, what creature has the most closest resemblance to a shrub, but yet also is the most humanoid and also made of rocks?" And you're like,
Do you ever tell him, why don't you tell us? Why don't you make it up?
Till now.
yeah, that's my answer now. Because I mean, literally, I just sit there and I'm like, I don't know. But he wants to know like what's the monster manual say about this? Because he's trying to make his own like big thing, and nice strangest thing in D&D, Kitty. Aww.
You don't mean that. Come on.
Well, yeah. So now that we have like 10 minutes to go,
Wait. I want to finish singing my praises while we're on it. While we're talking about my look changes, can we just remember Peter Shell for a second?
Always.
There were so many people that were like, before I said anything, when I came on screen, but before I said anything, we're like, who is that little guy? Who is that guy on the show?
Oh yeah. So great. Also, I will say, like, I've been hit on a few times in my life, but I've never been hit on more than when I drew on a mustache. Like like a convention full of drunk guys is like, wow, whatever that is awesome. So I suspect that if you were to nerd around dressed as that guy, you'd be very amused at the attention that you got.
Yeah, he would be really fun to do, like, because, like, I'm imagining when we finally get to start doing cons again, like, each day I'm just going to pick any of my characters. Like, I'll probably do, like, on Saturday, whatever my main character is at the time, and then on the other days, just whatever random character that I've ever played.
He's got to do a costume change.
That's why you got to go to Gen Con, just like 4 days long, so you can, like, boop,
Well,
you know.
I think it's like a 6 or 7 hour drive from Ohio, so which is where I'll be. So it'll be like I could probably go only on Thursday.
Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday too?
Oh, it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's 5 days.
Okay, so I could probably go for Wednesday and Thursday. Yes. Yeah.
And then leave on Friday. Like hang out, you know, party out on Thursday, and then
Don't
you
get
can
super hungover on Thursday night so that you can drive on Friday.
Yeah, okay. Thanks.
I almost fell over.
So right. So next week we've got so Ansa's going to teach tarot tonight at 8 p.m. So get ready for that. Next, and then it's Thursday is Shakespeare on Zen.
Is it Thursday? Was it last week that we found out that he was doing it on Wednesdays or something?
I'm going to text him.
Shakespeare does something at some point.
Did he do it this morning?
I don't know. I was corrected by somebody who knew his schedule better than me. So Shakespeare does sonnets at some point.
I'm going to look at somewhere. You know what? I'm going to check my.
Normally do Friday morning.
No, usually he's on the schedule for Thursday. I don't know if he changed it to.
It used to be Friday morning then.
Well, I'm supportive of whatever it is, but I don't know the answer.
Well, okay. Before we go any further, though, I do want to thank everybody if you're here who threw in an extra subscription or whatever, or all those cheers last night during the SmackDown. The Bardic inspired rap battle. It was very one-sided rap battle. Okay, listen, I'm looking at my thing, and we don't have any other like he was not on this morning on Twitch, so it's got to be Thursday. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I don't know what's going on. I just show up. So tomorrow should be. So last week he did do Wednesday. Oh, well, I don't know, Blondie. I guess he just didn't know what day it was. Who knows?
Before we go, do you want to see Brent's progress on the new version of the cat sketch?
Oh, yeah.
Make him big.
Oh, all right.
You're dumb. Other side. Oh, Lincoln's got a hat.
I love it. I love the hat.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
and the tongue has a different style going on too now.
Yeah. That's great. It's like he's scatting.
That's a great cat picture. Like the tufts.
Yeah, that was missing from the first time around.
Yeah.
The tufts. They make it look
way more rock and roll.
All right.
More rock and roll.
So, yeah. Tonight, tarot. Tomorrow morning, sonnets. Tomorrow night, Gothic Horror Gaming. Let's see. Gablonia doesn't start yet, but Monday is going to be Bedtime Tales. And then Tuesday, oh yes, right. Do not forget, Thursday is also before Gothic Horror Gaming is going to be AAA, a Patreon Saints game. And yeah, we've got a little quest. Well, we're going to start out on a quest. Clearly, the other Patreon Saints group went out on the Basilisk quest. So maybe Reverend Tommy and his group can find out if something's happening with your cats.
What time? What time is the
6 to
AAA
9.
one?
6 to 9.
6. So that's 3 for me.
Right on. Oh, are
Okay.
you going to show up?
Yes, I didn't even know
there's
about
room.
the. This is how I
There's
remember.
room to
things.
play. You could
Oh.
throw down. There's room to play because there's only 3 characters. So
Oh.
I could
Let
have.
me see. It depends on how much packing I need to do
Okay.
at that time. Because I might just have to listen while I pack, or if I have time, maybe I could throw something together. Yes, Reverend Tommy, do text me, because even though I have this here, it's not completely foolproof.
All right.
What kind of character do they need?
Well, it's AAA, so it's a artificer, it's a planeswalker, and it is a dragonborn. It's escaping me right this moment.
Yeah.
Reverend
Is
Tommy, what is your class? I can't remember.
he a sorcerer? What level are they?
Artificer, Ranger,
Warlock.
Warlock. That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are almost level 5, 4 or 5.
Yeah, I'll see what I got and how much time I have.
I know.
XP them.
XP them up. That's right. They're 4th, approaching 5th. So yeah. Hang on.
Well, it's almost time.
Yep.
Citizens.
Well, my friends, so next Tuesday we have the new campaign. While I am off on a little vacation, which it's so funny because I'm like, oh, I don't want to leave, but I do. I do. I want to go on vacation with my baby.
Oh.
So yeah, Chris is going to do a Chase Treasure show where they are going to be their Chase Treasure characters. They are playing themselves,
Playing
D&D. So
yeah,
they
I
are.
love it.
So it's going to be super meta in so many ways. I can only imagine it's going to be super crazy, and it's going to be great. And so they're going to do that. They're going to have a whole campaign, and that the map of the campaign lands is going to be the map of the month. So that's coming up, which is about to be July right now. So we'll see all that, and yeah, the real person. So she's going to be a lady playing a dude playing another dude, like, and
Is this Shakespeare?
right, yeah. All right, well, my friends, I think we're gonna sign off now. Once again, we want to thank everybody for supporting all the things we do and just showing up, hanging out to chat. I hope you made some art while you were chatting with us. I've got one more mini painted. Woo! So
Yeah.
we've got artwork coming up. Everybody, even if it's an hour, one day a week, make some art, make some things happen, and
Don't be that guy.
oh my gosh.
Don't be that guy. The world has enough of those guys. Be the person who uses
Never be that guy.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in the chat later on. Crazy stuff.
Oh, everybody!
Hmm.
I poked at Discord last night a little bit after the show, and there's an introduction thread now. So everybody go introduce yourself on the introduction
Oh,
thread,
yeah.
because I had no idea all this time that Zolani was a Michael.
Oh,
I thought Zolani was a female name all this time. Sorry, Zolani.
there you go.
Because I know female Zolanis. I know like 2 female Zolanis, or maybe it's just 1. I don't know. But anyway. Yeah, so the introduction thread was cute. Everybody go do an introduction.
Yeah, good introduction. You can be whatever you want. You can be whatever you want. We don't care.
Yeah.
Like,
There's
we are inclusive.
we don't have gender's dumb. Let's just forget about it.
Yeah.
You're already
You know.
a goblin and a minotaur. Who cares about the rest of your DNA?
Gender's dumb, but can you still be like a chick with a mustache? Is that a thing?
Yeah, if
I
you
don't know.
want. That's
Yeah,
the
okay.
beauty of it. You get to be whatever you want because you're just a
You know?
person
Right.
that lives in a place with a
that.
bunch of other electrified meat sacks. Like we can be whatever we want.
Oh my god, best name for a band ever.
Can you be that for the
I'm
Bud Light
electric-
campaign?
I
I already am.
No choice.
I am a meat popsicle.
All right, my friends. Well, I want to thank whoever just showed up because I just saw our numbers go up a little bit, but we are just about to end the show. Thanks so much for being part of the crafting with the crew, and go make some art, everybody. Remember, with art, there's no such thing as critical failures, just critical little accidents. So go out there, have some fun, make some art. We love you all, and we will see you all again. Bye.